I was very competitive at a young age.
She's never taken it seriously.
University was never on the radar, and I was willing to fully dedicate my life to going to the Olympics.
Evie was, she was very good at hockey, and she was on the pathway for England Futures Cup. Evie used to do hockey up at Cannock, 6 hours, and then I'll be riding up at Cannock. When it would stop, then I'd come back. So all of a sudden, you're 16 and you're having to go on your mountain bike as well, aren't you?
For me, it got serious quite quickly. I think I'd always decided I wanted to go to the Olympics. Always when I started a sport, it was obviously for fun, but I was very competitive at a young age, and it was always because I wanted to go to the Olympics. So then when I found cycling, it was 2 years later or something, I raced the World Champs, and when I went to that race, I knew that's what I wanted to do full time, and I remember it was the time I was looking around universities, and university was never on the radar. I wanted to go to the Olympics, and I was willing to move to Manchester and like fully dedicate my life to going to the Olympics. So yeah, it kind of happened quite serious, and I feel like now I'm on my pro team and I've got all the sponsors I've always dreamt of. Now it's the seriousness kind of like backs off a bit. I can enjoy myself more, and I'm at a position where I can have more fun and just really enjoy riding, because I've worked really hard to get to this position, I think, in riding. I was very lucky with Dad and supporting me coming up, because I think initially, until you get onto the teams, unless you have that support system, it's not really possible. Like the girls I met this morning, their parents are taking them out to Leger, and you need the parents and the local support to have someone to take you to the races, to help pay for it when you're young. And then luckily when you get onto the team, we're lucky that they take everything off you, but to start with, without the support system, it's not possible, so I'm very lucky.
Yeah, no. We are lucky. Once you get out here, you get your car park, then, you know, it's free. All you've got to do is ride the bike. Get on the bike, ride the bike.
It is always harder being a girl with not always as many races. Like, I was the first one to win World Champs in that category because it didn't exist before me, so I think I was very lucky that I came into the sport at a good time.
Yeah, you did.
Where women before me had these barriers, and they pushed really for more equality, more races, better prize money and more sponsors. So yeah, there's always barriers, but I think the women who are older have really pushed to make it more of an even field for us.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember you coming to the races, and it was a case of you having to race the boys, and then there'd be top 3 prizes, and although winning's not everything, you do well as a young female, there was no prize. But now, you've got your own female categories, you've got new age groups, equal prize money. It's so much better for you now. Like.
Yeah, definitely. And I even think the support, always males, coaches, a lot of male staff in the discipline. I think now we're very lucky that we've got a lot of female coaches, female nutritionists that understand the female body more, which I think is breaking down a lot of barriers for us in that sport. My psychologist and me talk about like things that drill holes out my bucket. To race well, I need to make sure my bucket's empty, and I've got to make sure I'm drilling holes out the bucket in the week. So drilling holes out the bucket is just anything that brings me joy and makes me happy and calms me down, really. So that can be swimming, going for a run. Running is always a good one to drill holes out of a bucket. So yeah, it's just doing things that make me happy, so that when I come to race, I'm in a good headspace and I'm happy and ready to go. I think if you ever see me warming up on the rollers just before the race, I'll look up, because we're always in the mountains, and I'll look up at the nature we're in and the environment we're in, and that just gives me like a really clear head, and just feel really lucky that I get a job where I'm outside all the time, in this green space.
If you're not in the forest, you're in the woods. If you're not in the woods, you're in the mountains.
And if I'm not in the mountains, I'm by a river. So
you're in the river or in the lake.
Just always outside makes me the most happy.